Welcome back. We're here to do the super chats. A little bit late today, but nevertheless, we are here. Had some very interesting things happen of late. I went to log into StreamYards, which excitingly, they have added live streaming to Instagram. I was like, oh, hello. Yes, for those of you that don't know, you can directly live stream from obviously your phone, but you haven't really been able to, apart from very limited apps, to allow you to do such. You predominantly would have to go live from your phone. So that does mean when I am doing the energy updates, we can stream to both Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram simultaneously, which can be really nice. Haven't missed the super chat. It is in there. I have added it. Giggle has confirmed that, yes, in fact, it was there. So we're going to get into the super chats. I'm not going to hold you guys too late. I also have to do the joint connection today. Also, they will be open shortly. So what I'll do is put a community post up so that will be your notification of the time frame, and to just be aware to return to the page. Usually I do schedule them ahead of time, but really these transits, especially with Mercury retrograde, has really been for a lot of us where we have been multitasking at such a high level. And it's funny because when Mercury is retrograde, you have more on your plate. So it's like, oh gosh, I've got to finish this, I've got to finish that. So it's almost like it picks up pace, but you're working on the future. But inadvertently, you're directly still dealing with situations of the past. And wherever that, like, definitely one thing I can say is, and this is a prediction, we already are experiencing Pluto and Aquarius. So definitely you can see some changes with weather patterns. I also do feel it's going to bring both water and air. So this can be, weather energy, it's intellect. And it's about changes really happening in those areas. So simultaneously, I do believe we are getting a little bit of the January energy, even though we energetically still won't have a lot of energy. And it is going to act, it's going to act up with technology. So it could be hacking, great time to update your passwords moving into 2024. Really being careful of spam messages coming through on your phone, not presuming, it could be from an app, it could be from a bank, for instance, because it can link to banking. So really being very cautious about what you're opening, be it it's in an email, making sure you backtrack. I mean, I had a long time ago, I've forgotten the gentleman's name. He's a psychic medium. And I had viewed his, I think it was 5 or 6 years ago. And I got a notification basically that he's launched this new membership, which is funny enough, usually memberships and things to that degree, it's not really a good time to be launching them of a Mercury retrograde, especially because we are going to be having Jupiter going direct, which can be to do with journalism, blogging, travel, for instance. I'll be very cautious with that. And definitely the hot spots maybe that you would want to miss would be, which is a hard one because this can be religious temples. This can be schools, universities. There could be some subjects coming up around those areas. Construction at my house, birthday, extra busy at work. Yeah, look, Jupiter goes direct the 31st, I believe, New Year's Eve. I'm like, I'm really wary of that. We will, I would say, by mid-month, we can start feeling more energetic. Also, it's a time where you're going to have to look at use by dates. That's because of where Venus is positioned. So we could get tummy bugs. We might be eating something that's past its use by date. Scorpio can be something hidden in the physical food. I'm already seeing recalls. Again, it is Mercury, the things we eat, think, the day-to-day routine. There also could be subjects to do with, how could I say it, new laws, government situations, people resigning, the way they're dealing with it. But wellness, you will need to look after your wellness until, I would say, about mid-January. Being extra cautious, good PPE, extra cautious, checking your use-by dates, checking the recalls, making sure that what you have isn't being recalled. And really, if you are needing to transition, be it's within a career, use this time to meditate upon it, not necessarily react, The good part is the midway through a Mercury retrograde is a great time to get your resumes brushed up, your paperwork in order. And what can happen is if you are networking, sort of mentally say to yourself, right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my resumes out midway through that retrograde. It's almost like the world is your oyster situation will come through, so that when it does move direct, it's pushed it quicker out, and you will have more opportunities to choose from, and you will be more aware of what is and what isn't going to work for you, because we're going to have amazing ideas. But I do really feel, the key to being successful in 2024, the term I feel is going to be less is more, because you're rebuilding a physical foundation. And so with all the information we've had from Pluto in our lives, be it it's linking to our love life, it's our money, it can be intimate connections, it can be a career factor, a business. It's going to be less is more. It's getting the key foundational situations at a base level done first, and then you can build upon that. But it's almost keeping in mind what your goal's going to be and working out how you can attain that in a more realistic setting. Any of you had that experience? You're looking at it and going, oh, I've got these ideas. And it's like, yeah, can you handle those ideas? Because Jupiter is big ideas. But the other thing is big Saturn in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces. We did learn in those retrogrades what those social responsibilities were. We also learned what the burdens were. It can be the hard work, the hard yards, almost spiritually, psychologically feeling we haven't got anywhere. And we really have. We do need to give ourselves some grace of what we have achieved, even if they've been small situations. But it has been what our mind, body, and soul can handle realistically. And a fear of new beginnings due to maybe what happened from 2020 and beyond. But definitely there can be some huge shifts. The next nodal axis also is going to be in the house of Pisces. So wherever that Saturn in Pisces has been asking you to level up and mature, it's almost like a bit of a Debbie Downer. It's like, right, in order to get that dream, this is what has to happen. You can feel quite disillusioned. Neptune also can sort of come along and pull the carpet out from under you and say, hey, by the way, you were quite out of alignment with that goal, with that belief system, with that dream. That can be in love, career, or any other area, depending on where it is in your chart. It then, as it goes direct, means you have more information from a logical point of view, but it's also take those lessons with you as you are deciding what those new kind of, and it could have been New Year's resolutions, it could be, but it's more at a bigger level. It's what you've learned from that personal experience and how you can now make some changes and tweak it. What I have seen in the collective is with those areas, definitely we can have augmented realities. We can have our belief systems really shifting, especially with Sagittarius there. Mental well-being can be a subject, and especially people's ability to have a healthy mental viewpoint of things. So we need to understand with all astrology, you will have the yin to the yang. You're going to have the highest octane and you're going to have the lowest, and you're going to get both. So it's about being aware of that as you're dealing with individuals. Okay. We're going to get into, feel free to ask a question if you've had an experience at a base level. And the super chats are very separate. But at a standard level, if you have a question or you have an experience you've had, feel free to share. I didn't know I had it up there. Go on, I took it back down again. I hope I do get more energetic. Look, I think, if anything, when the astrology is like this, when the energy collectively is like this, what we do need to be mindful of is the fact that everyone's feeling it. And so it's not about putting more on your plate. It's about we're wrapping up a year. Pluto as well, sitting in the house of Capricorn, is going to ingress next month into the house of Aquarius. And it's about looking after our bodies. It's like less is more. Take some time to meditate upon all these things that have been coming through for you, not necessarily jumping in a particular direction, maybe having a thought process, but keep it fluid so that you can shift gears, you can change directions. This is a time to clean shop, to wrap things up, to let your body rest, to enjoy maybe the connections. Christmas can be a difficult aspect, but if you go into it with that awareness, you're going to have a healthier boundary. Okay. There are some difficult aspects that day. Have I made plans that day? Yes, I have, because you need to live. So it's about being aware that there could be conflict, but also, you know, choose who you're surrounding yourself with. Have empathy. Use the traffic light analogy. Reg, you're angry. Slow down. You know, it's not a counselling session during Christmas. Not that everyone maybe will feel that way. It could end up that way. But just having empathy, understanding, stop, look and listen. Get into the red zone. It's like, okay, this has cheesed me off. This has angered me. This has, you know, confused me, or I'm feeling under pressure. Less is more. Into the yellow. What do I want to bring about out of this? Have I heard both sides of the coin, or am I in that trigger mode? Green, then proceed with caution, love, and understanding, and take action. But do that. You know, slow down. I know it's easier said than done, because, yes, even me, I do drop the ball. I feel like a carton of milk with an expiry date. Yeah, you know, I'm going to try and put these into energy updates, but honest to goodness, I just like you guys. It has been full on. You know, I was over the break. I have a very, very small break. I'm going to be getting content done for 2024, but I've had to go into it with the awareness of balance, you know, because if you're rested, you're going to get a lot more done. So all the creative ideas of energy updates, be it it's weekly, how I'm going to go about doing those things, there is going to be new content. So stay tuned. Okay, let's get into the first super chat. We have Tracy. Do we have Tracy in the house? If not, we will be pulling the cards, and whatever is coming through for you, I will relay, and we will go from there. We do have the joint connection later. Members, you guys will get your masculine, feminine, and karmic for Jan. I think it's Jan. No. Is it Jan? It is. Yes. Good Lord. That'll be interesting, won't it? Hi, sweet. What would you like me to look at? I mean, the cards are going to tell you what you need to hear, but we can see if there's something also coming up. Yes. Guides, very interesting individuals. The other message I got at the collective level, if you are having a tower moment in some degree and you have sort of like needed some movement and there has been stagnation, please try to trust the process. A lot of times when we do have a tower occur, it is because it is aiding us with that new foundation coming through. So we may think, you know, oh, Lord, you know, why is this happening now? This is terrible. But sometimes where we intellectually feel there has been no movement in an area, sometimes tower moments can actually create new doors and ways to achieve that target. So we might not feel it at the time, but 9 times out of 10, that's what it's attempting to give us. Even though in our ego, we're like, universe, that was not what I asked for, you know, and it is really, you know, step back for a minute, observe it and see how synchronistic it is actually occurring. I'm definitely seeing a lot to do with Mars and Aries lately. A lot of company names that are coming through. What was the first one I saw? And I was like, oh, God, you know, this Aries energy for the North Node isn't going to completely wrap up. It is going to move over the next 20 years. So it is still going to be new beginnings in these areas. That doesn't have to be a negative thing. We get the yin to the yang. And the next nodal axis will be in Pisces. So I'm seeing, what was the first company? The first company was Mars. The next company name I saw was Aries, and I was like, wow, you can't make this up. And you synchronistically will see these things happening in music, food, business names, design. It's going to be everywhere. You'll see it everywhere. Okay, what do we have for Tracy? What do we have? I'm hearing the term sitting duck, but I think it's that you're being patient with the circumstance, but I feel you're wanting to observe something before you make a decision. You have waited a long time, and this can be for a certain area. This can be for some information coming towards you, but I do think you're being patient. You're observing, though. I think you're using your smarts when it does come to other individuals. They're making reference to a situation you could be dealing with, and they're saying if there is a circumstance that you feel you have all the information you need and you're delaying, they're saying don't give your power away, okay? Yeah, it's almost like sometimes we need resolve, we need closure with the circumstance in order to take a different step, and it doesn't mean to say something's ending. But that's kind of how they're referencing it. It's sort of like, is there something you know that needs addressing in some shape or form? You're being patient, you're kind of waiting, you're hoping that there's going to be new information, but I think you made your decision with something. It does feel as though you've had a lot of information in this area. Is this to do with career, Tracy? Is there something going on with the career energy? Yeah, I'm also hearing that you're going to get revenge with something, but you won't need to do anything. You are biding your time with the circumstance. Something's going to go in your favor. If something, how do I explain it? I'll wait for you to tell me if this is a career situation, because I do feel that this could be. They're coming back to career. They're saying it can be career or something that you're going through. Look, I feel that there could be. Look, what they're showing me is almost like it's a position. So it could be a position you're going through. You've waited. You put your good energy into it. It could be that other people are presuming that they can do this situation better than you. I get this card being that you're almost very educated and mature to do with it. Whomever is placed into particular positions, I feel karma is coming from the situation. How would I explain it? Politely, without people, who cares? You're going to get your just desserts. If you are also wanting to make a shift, it could be a catch-22 where you're physically thinking, look, if I bide my time, this person's going to go anyway. I do feel that as a possibility. I also feel people are bitten off a bit more than they can chew. You're going to have more freedom. I feel you also want to have a break before you make any major decision, even though you simultaneously already have. Something is going to go in your favor, though, and they're asking you to step back. I do feel you're stepping back. You're protecting yourself. You could also feel as though in a particular area. Now, if this is you just reaching closure to do with the previous position and you're moving ahead, I do feel you're going to get it, but I do feel you're going to get gossip. Maybe that things aren't going so great. If you are choosing to transition into this can be a different department, a different level, I do think it's coming through. I just feel that you need to be cautious, especially if you have been maintaining a position in a very toxic environment and trying to say to yourself, you're biding your time and it's going to get better. If you have moved away from a toxic situation and you are kind of observing, I still think regardless, this is going in your favor. I'm getting the cup song and I just get that you're kind of like, spirit is saying, it's almost like you're going to miss me when I'm gone. So it's like, it's a beautiful energy because it's almost like universe is saying, know that you're worth it. Know that what you have and what you're giving is probably 100% more than what others are. And that, don't question yourself with that. If you know that you have gone into the situation with integrity, with that right frequency, they're saying you are directly going to be rewarded by it and for it in your life. So don't think you're not going to. Yeah, there's a lot of dramas here. Now, is this to do with... Yeah, is this to do with the current situation or what you're moving away from? We've got the Fool card. So are you in the undecided zone? They're saying, if you're in the undecided zone, take a leap of faith. There could be divine timing in that. That could be, as I suggested at the beginning of this update, branching out, putting your resumes out. For some reason, I feel there's almost been applications that are being done. So it could be like going up a level at work or, deciding to flee the coop. But I do see you moving to brighter horizons. I do see you going up a level. I do see you doing better. If there has been delays with that, they are saying you may get some information closer to the end of the year. This can be via email. But you also, if you haven't already, but I'm also showing January, okay? I hope that helps. But definitely they're saying if you know what this is and you're still biding your time, it could be because you want to break over the silly season and then you feel emotionally you're going to be able to make a decision more effectively. That's fine. But they are saying that you're going to be the full card. You've got to have some trust. You've got to jump in the deep end and, trust in the process that bright horizons are for you. I hope that helps, my love. But I do feel, be this a past situation or a most current situation, that there could be some toxicity around that dynamic and it could be causing some issues for you. So, you're not crazy. If you feel it could even be a funky vibe. It's a little bit like a taste, smell, touch, and you're like, ugh, there's something off about this. What's going on? Trust your instincts. Okay, we have Marie. Do we have a Marie in the house? And I'm sorry for the late list. I hope it helps, Tracy. I hope it landed. What is going on with DM and any messages about the connection? I always say rejection is the universe's protection. I think Giggle and I have learned that very, very well over the last, I would say, 7 years. It's like it's quiet. Quiet usually means they can be in the 3D. This also can mean, are you stagnating a decision? Do you have a decision that you're needing to make? Okay, let's see. Have you had some triggers come up lately? Or have you been feeling there's a given reason why this has gone this way? Like somebody controlling the situation in some shape or form. I mean, karmic energy definitely at the moment can be coming through. That is because Pluto in Capricorn is going to be ingressing out temporarily. Because there's a jealous energy. Jealous energy sometimes can be psychic attacks. It can come through in a shape or form where we're second guessing ourselves. But it's brought up some, I can't say unfinished business, unresolved feelings, but it's made you question, it's made you go into the vault. Tired of the no movement. Okay. Now, when we spiritually are there, and there's keys to unlocking stagnation. I'll read the reading and I'll give you some tips, and it's up to you if you choose it, okay? So what we do have is a vibration that you're embodying at the moment. Again, it can be the Scorpio energy. I was really saying Scorpio energy can bring about paranoia, protectiveness. It can be deep emotional feelings, desires and passions coming to the forefront and the surface. And because we have placements in Sagittarius, we're wanting the future. We're like, I haven't got time for this BS. I want to move forward. It also can be where we are doing the X-Files energy. And it was a beautiful documentary I watched the other day. And it was to do with the energy of Pisces and Neptunian energy, and how we have usually around those times we have cults, we have UFO spottings, we have subjects to do with conflicts and wars, and it's how these cycles kind of play out. Spiritually, though, as we do tap into it around those times and transits, we did have the X-Files, which it was like all the rage. Everyone was connected to it. And then suddenly, bang, as the transits moved, no longer were we shifting the focus onto that. It shifted onto something else. And that's very astrology energy, right? So how can we navigate our lives based on that? Number one, being aware that you spiritually can be looking at this at the moment and feeling as though, down on it, I want my future. So the anger inside can come up. It's like, I want some physical movement, but I feel as though, have I been silly? Have I been looking at this incorrectly? Do I need to leave this to the past? When that comes up in you, you are becoming more present in your life, and you usually do attract what you deserve then, because what is happening within you is you are acknowledging the fact that you are ready for a relationship, that you are ready for life, you are ready to reconnect to your life, and that if you do make certain decisions in your life, what happens if the soldier energy is being left behind? Inevitably, this person, if their energy directly is spiritually linked and divinely guided to you, when you physically start moving and you take yourself out of stagnation is when the physical connection starts coming through. Have you ever noticed that? It's like once, I call it metaphorically, once we get our crap together, it's like you'll get a phone call, you'll get some movement. Why does that happen? Because you're being present in your life and you're saying, look, I'm not waiting. I'm not going into the stagnation, the hangman position. I had some things I needed to address. I had some decisions I had to make. I had to deal with it. But you also could be not only in the past, but also in the future, and sort of keeping yourself in the present. And why could that be happening? That can be due to fear of betrayals reoccurring in other connections. And so it's almost like this feeling we have where we're darned if we do, we're darned if we don't. But when we've learned this lesson and we've gone, that's not attractive, that's not even spiritually about me, and we detach, we actually attract somebody that is at that base level, the same as us. Can we control what other people do? No, but the energy from a spiritual point of view, it can move it. I don't know why your intuition almost is feeling like maybe somebody has showed up, maybe somebody from the past maybe has showed up, and it's making you feel a bit funky with it. I feel you're trying to change your approach with this. I do feel you're going to get justice with the circumstance. I feel you're trying to, it's like you're almost waiting for information. You're like, right, in order to make a decision about what is going to be best for me, it's almost like you're waiting for some information. I don't know why I'm getting, you could be getting some gossip through the grapevine in some shape or form. That can also be feelings that maybe you're going to hear something. You do want a directional change. They are in their mind at the moment. You're frustrated. You want consistency. They know that. I'm not. Yeah, because majorly what is coming through is you're ready to make some major decisions. You're feeling this person spiritually, maybe due to some circumstances, is not ready for a relationship. This could be due to previous trauma. You also don't want to chase this person. You want them to spiritually be choosing you. You do feel disillusioned, though. There is this feeling, again, this can be because of the time frame. This can be because of, currently we're moving into, Christmas and New Year's, and it's like, yet another year, and here we are. Could your feelings crop up near the end of the year? There is a possibility here. It's showing it. However, what I do see is you're going to change your approach. I see this person is changing their approach. I do feel they're reaching closure with the situation, though. This can be to do with tribe, family, the past. I also feel if they had any habits, they're kind of addressing that and looking at it. It could be like fitness energy, wanting to get themselves in a better vibe. There is an offer here. So I do feel an offer is here. If it has paused and gone quiet, especially if you did have communication or some shape or form, it does appear to be that there is going to be an offer. It's going to be very small. Doesn't mean it's not going to grow into something bigger, 100%. Like, it's going to grow into something bigger. But it's also, I feel you want to go slow. You want to be totally sure that this is okay. But I feel this excitement energy in your aura. I definitely feel these plans, these lifestyles that you're moving into are going to be more upbeat and happy. That's really your intention for 2024, is that you want to be happy, you want to be connected to people, you want to have success in particular areas of your life. And you're like, if the soldier wants to come, the soldier can, show up. But where you're at is being very present in the here and now. You spiritually, sometimes we say we're not thinking about it, but it still can come through in our perception and ego of a circumstance. To a degree, what I am saying with these cards is you don't feel that this person has the courage to leave the past in the past, by their behavioural patterns of maybe communicating, not communicating. You're really reluctant to believe that you're going to get justice. It is showing that they do know that. And it is also showing that when they do turn up, they know that they have to be all in. But right now you're looking at it as dissatisfied with the circumstance, okay? But what you're looking for is happiness, and if it means it's not with this person, you're like, done, I don't want it to be that way, but I'm gonna, and it's almost like love isn't your total goal right now. It's just the bliss. Does that make sense? I also feel in confirmation, it's weird because here it looks as though you're feeling that maybe they're reconciling with somebody else, or they're communicating with somebody. I don't think it's to reconcile. I feel it's to close a door. And they're basically saying, don't be silly. I've really learned my lesson with that. I'm not going back to that person. I might be quiet. I do have some emotions going on, but it has nothing to do with like reconciling with a karmic, okay? Because when we learn these lessons, we don't go back. I hope that helps. Let's take a look. So who do we have next? Do we have Tracy? Did we do Tracy? I can't remember, Google. Tracy, Marie, so we've got Dawn next, yeah? Most welcome. I hope it helps still. But yeah, but look, you're on track. You're on track. Things do shift. And it's healthy that we look at it from a realistic standpoint. Does that make sense? Hey, Dawn, how are you, my love? I tell you, Jupiter's even moving next year. Oh, God. I'm having a Jupiter return next year. I'm going to have so much on my plate. Guess who's back? What, Birdman? Always helps. I'm glad, Marie. Thank you. Feel free, any of you who have readings, especially if people want to visit the channel and they don't know, how these things relate. If you can give them a heads up, it may make them go, oh, okay, maybe I'll get a reading. Okay, you got the Star card first shown to me. Okay, you want success. You're working hard. You're working hard at looking at ideas, looking at ways to achieve success. You could have had some tower moments spiritually, but I do feel your intent is to get out of the funk. So who's back anyway, Dawn? Hit me with it. TF. Okay, there's some conflicts they are moving to the past. But this is the energy. I always said that. Have you ever noticed how, and for a while there, I used to be really paid when that person would exhibit energy like that to me. It'd be like almost like nothing had happened. Nothing had happened, and we're just moving forward. Why does that happen? Because we don't reach closure from another person. It's like, okay, don't bring attention to it. Completely ignore it. Act like it never happened and it didn't matter. When you mirror energy back, you get a better outcome. Twin even mentioned this to me, and I don't call him Twin. I call him my partner. But this individual, everything they would do, I would mirror back. And it was not from like a manipulative standpoint. It was how much can a person tolerate? How much, how is that language of love coming through? What is that language point blank? Zero with another person. If it's very short and sweet, keep it very short and sweet. Not adding problems to another person's plate right now would be the key for all of us. There's a heaviness with the astrology. It's being really realistic. If that person already has those problems going on and we throw that over there as well, they're just going to be like, everyone's coming at me. Okay, let's see what the cards show. Yeah. Okay. Okay, this person literally thinks, why do we fight? Every time they go away, they're sort of like, why are we fighting now? They're dissatisfied in their life at the moment, and they do project, okay? You also, in the heart space, are quite frustrated by the way things are being. You're tired of the stagnation. You're getting bored with it to the point it won't trigger you anymore. This person, because your behavior is changing, they do feel that you're going to kind of uproot and leave, because you're not chasing them. They also can feel quite run down, but I'm also feeling as though, mentally speaking, you're trying to look at things very realistically at this point in time. You do feel at times people are very critical on you, and it has taken a toll. I do feel there's some guilt. It's almost like when they say something after, they're kind of like, why did I say that? That was really cruel. That was very unnecessary. That was nasty. Like, this person, isn't really a bad person. Why am I actually saying those things? So it is breaking their heart that they have projected some really harsh statements to you. You do know that they have a lot on their plate. You empathize and understand, but it's nothing that you can change. I am seeing a lot of other individuals coming towards you. This can be around the silly season into January 2024. I think you're going to be quite busy. I feel you may at times want to go into hermit mode. There can be some discord coming up. I do feel they're almost fretting about their home environment. I feel there can be unexpected visitors. If this is going to tip this person over the edge, it is also going to give them the magician energy where they actually can move towards their truth. They're actually saying to trust the process with this. The both of you may be going through a similar circumstance. This can be people showing up out of left field, old circumstances replaying out. But I do feel overall it's almost like it's the catalyst to a tower moment to a star. Does that make sense? Because this person's going to realize that they do have the power, and they're going to have to admit to themselves that there is an issue here. And I think this silly season is actually going to help that come about. I know the vibe they get is they feel they're losing you, that everyone is moving away, that everyone is moving forward, and that they're very frustrated at the fact that they've stayed stagnant. I really feel unexpected visitors for them. But I definitely feel unexpected visitors for you. And I'm also seeing a potential travel. You could be worried also to do with wealth at the moment. But I think you're actually, if you look at this as a slight break to gain momentum and success and be resourceful, you could come up with some very creative ideas. I think this can be to do with business. I see you doing like a quality control. And I think then your start is coming through. So they're asking you to trust the process with it, but to be creative. Yeah. Yeah. If universe is giving you a break, it is so that you can look at the 3D of life in other areas. You're like, I don't understand. Why has it gone so quiet? There's so much discord. It's because they could be dealing with these circumstances. This could be customer based. But I'm hearing last minute. Last minute. Yeah. Yeah, this is a time to get balanced, to not do more, to do less, even though you really need it. And they're saying that if you have trust in the process, blessings are going to come through in weird ways. It's like in weird time frames, in divine timing, but they're saying it's out of your control. Please focus on, your wellness, your structure, your foundation, because it is going to set you up, and whatever you feel is going backwards is actually going 20 steps forwards. I hope that helps. Dawn. Nothing bad here, but I do think you're going to have some unexpected visitors. Also feel this situation surrounding employment maybe is making you look at it differently, and you're like, okay, is this something I can depend on? Is this something that is going to take me to my goal? I love it, but how can I change it? Or do I need to swap it up a bit, or go in a totally different direction? Because what you're wanting here is the star. So you're very focused on goals at the moment. You're very focused on success, and you could ultimately feel like, things are falling down, but they could be falling down for a reason. Who do we have next? Cosmic Journey. I hope that helps, Dawn. It's okay. I'm sure everyone else has been having these circumstances playing. It's like, why now? Why now? Thanks, Giggle. Whoa, we got jumpers. Most welcome, Dawn. Okay, we have Cosmic Jenny. Hi, Spoke. How are you? Okay, yeah, you're like, you could be thinking directly of a time. This can be a time frame. I think they're making reference to, again, this could be a party. It could be a party, a birthday, an anniversary, Christmas or New Year's, but it's a social event. This also could be overindulgence, energy or food can be kind of cropping up for you. Although I'm kind of feeling more you're going off food, not on it. But they are making reference to a social event. You could be moving into a detachment style frequency. This can almost be to the point where, you know, you want to get into the fun, you want to get into the vibe of it. You do directly know that you have chemistry with this person. You're not questioning that situation. There is something you are questioning, though. You feel that there is a very large shift pending. And I don't just think this is for you. It's almost like you're picking up on it psychically. You could be trying to get ducks in a row. You also, it's almost like you're timeline jumping, but I kind of feel that you're tapping into something that is giving you this heads up to prepare. Some people can be having almost like their worlds are flipping upside down. It can feel like that. And you're looking at it and going almost like you energetically felt it. When it does come to TF, what I do get is that there is something that is being triggered in you. And I think, again, this can be linked to a time frame I mentioned. Birthday, anniversary, Christmas, New Year's, because they're making reference to a social event. Now, this can be that trigger is kind of starting around that time. But intuitively, if you've been very busy, it's a little bit like, you know, ants sensing how the next season weather is going to be. And so they're preparing. They're in the hunter-gatherer mode. They're preparing and they're getting things ready. That's kind of the analogy that universe is giving me. If there has been like a passionate circumstance with you and this individual, like I said, I still feel a lot of chemistry here. You're feeling like something is changing. Your intuition can be bringing about superstitions of things. But it's your senses are so acute at the moment. You're hypersensitive to vibration. You can be really dissecting. This can be words, actions, your senses. Like I'm literally feeling your senses are on like they're on high alert. They're saying you could get into, how do I explain it? It's almost like indulgence energy, but this feels, again, it could be to do with food. There's sort of like ebbs and flows with it. One minute you feel super hungry. The next minute it's like, no, you know, am I eating my emotions? Am I feeling emotional? It's like fluctuation of the eating. It's like, you know, 1 minute feeling hungry, then just being completely off. There is this wave that you're kind of riding in the frequency with it. Again, I just really strongly get you ready to say something. I feel you're being protective of yourself. Yeah. Yeah, something's shifting. Even if you didn't want it to, something is shifting. And you directly feel it. Like you see this person in the highest regard. You have the utmost of respect for them. You respect any decision that's made. But for you, spiritually, what is changing? I do feel you sense something is going to come up with this individual's karmic. I also feel a door is opening for an exit. This could be for TF. But I do feel this person's energy is playing up. I do feel they're coming through in a very positive way. Some plans are being renegotiated here. I was thinking about you the last week, True Heart. I was going to PM you yesterday and go, hey, girl. Okay, advice for Cosmic Journey, please. Wow. Okay, you're handing the baton to them. You're like, you need to work it out. That's where you're at. You need to work it out. Some of these things are actually happening with it's almost like different people around you, and your vibration towards them is sort of changing and evolving as well. And that can be taking people off guard, but I do feel you're gone quiet. I feel that you're sort of, like I said, you're super sensitive to energy. You may wish to retreat back. I do feel there can be some tests for these individuals, but I do directly feel they could be very, very surprised because you're like, hey, I'm allowed to have fun. I'm allowed to have plans. Don't know what's going on with you, but it's I'm hearing the term me, and I don't feel on your side of the fence as bad at all. I do feel, if anything, you're saying, come on, okay, there's a give and take here. And people's expectations are really irking you at the moment. You do feel you need to change the way you are addressing these things, or what you're not wanting is 2024 to be a repeat of this year. I hope that makes sense. But you're testing people, but they are saying, please, well and truly trust your instincts, because I do feel you're tapping into something and your psychic guides are trying to communicate with you at the moment. Giggle, your turn. Heck, how many do we have? We have Giggle, Char, Kerry, Shasta, and Stella. Let's see for Giggle. Oh, you got some passion. You got some passion here. What am I feeling with them? Most welcome. I hope it helps, stuff. But yeah, trust your instincts, your intuitive energy. You could also be having sort of like an awakening of different senses. When we go through an awakening, you smell, touch, sense, psychic energy. It can kind of come online and come off. So it feels like it's been upgraded. Yeah. Okay. So the first thing I thought was the chemistry card, Giggle. And it was almost like, the first thing I heard is, I don't like saying that. You know that the chemistry is great. That's never been an issue. Probably more, yeah. I'll write it down so I can relay it to you, because some things should be said in private. I'll write it down. So that I can tell you after. And that's the perk, I guess, of being a member. It's like I can just PM you and go, look, this is what was said. And the great thing about the members, for those of you that haven't joined, is we do have a bloody good sense of humour. So we talk about things quite candidly. I mean, it's a bit more private, so you can share those things. I have people over at the moment visiting, so it's a bit noisy out there. Anyway. Now, well, you don't want to push. You're like, I'm not going to push here. I know what I'm worth. You are going to have some movement. We do have the Chariot card here. We do have a moon coming up, which is going to be full moon. There's a wrap. There's a wrap and a new chapter starting. You do have partnership energy here. But I kind of get this feeling that you intuitively are like, I'm not going to push. I know I can have my feelings. I can go through the motions of things. But you do feel you shouldn't have to push, and you shouldn't have to take a tactical approach for this person to move. I also feel you intuitively get that, if karmics are on the fly and out and about at the moment, if that person well and truly is toxic, and that person is, they're going to review it. I just don't think it's going to be a permanent problem. You're like, look, I'm being upfront and honest. It's almost like you're putting your hands up. Like, I'm being open with you. I've been very transparent. I know what I want. I can't deal with the fact that you protect yourself. That is something you have to deal with. But you feel something's off here. You're like, okay, what is it's like the actions and the words aren't matching. So to a degree, you're sort of looking at it going, okay, this doesn't make any sense because your actions and your words aren't matching. So does that mean that there is something else afoot here? Yeah, that's the way you're looking at it. You're like, is something else going on here? No, I do feel it is to do with emotions. I don't think it's could it be a 3D person? It could be, but again, I do feel again it's still more to do with the personal previous experience. You also could be feeling almost very protective of yourself. You could be having some old triggers coming up, and it could be making you feel as though, look, I don't want to have any entanglements. I don't want to have any mess. I don't want to keep lowering my guard and letting you in. So there is an apprehension, especially with the silence. I do feel this person is going to come to your home. I physically do feel a visit. I feel they're very well dressed. This is sort of like the attire they're wearing. They do have great taste in clothing, but it feels sort of like it does look a little bit work-like, but it's not. Their day clothes can be sort of like suit-like, but business and casual. They're a little bit like a... Yeah, it's a cross between casual and business, but it's just because their dress style is very, very classy. They have a casual, classy kind of look. I don't know why I'm seeing like a deep color. It does feel a deep color. I'm hearing the term, I have something to say to you, but they do. I'm hearing coming bearing gifts. Initially, it looked like a bottle of wine as well, but I don't think it's wine. Is there a special drink you share with this person? I feel this can be more on a sentimental level, but I do feel there's another item that they're coming with. They said you do know for them Christmas is a very difficult time, but there's a particular bottle. Yeah, well, that's how it looks. Tequila. Yeah, so it was a beverage. It's sort of like a beverage that they have been, I don't know why they're making reference to this, but they're also wondering what mum likes. So there's that thought going into it as well, but they're not coming empty-handed. That's what I'm saying. It potentially could be a bunch of cookies too. But again, I don't think they're for you. I think they could be for your mother. But I do see this, depending on the time frame you've actually arranged maybe what you're doing. If it's like mid-afternoon, I would say 3, 4, depending on what time you're doing your silly season. They're showing me daytime, early evening. For him, I barely drink. That's true, but again, you know, they do remember these things. I don't think it's about speaking. I just think this person's turning up. But what I am saying is a time frame. This can be before, during, or after, and it feels very close. It feels like very, very close. So communication is coming through. But I definitely see this person coming to the door, bearing gifts. Like they're not coming empty-handed. That's sort of, I think it's almost like they feel spiritually it's inappropriate too. So it's like they're bringing something. They are coming like for a truce, but they do want to talk to you. It doesn't feel negative, I will say that, but I definitely see them bearing gifts. I hope that helps, Giggle. I've saved your messages here, so I will relay those to you after. Cha. Yeah, but it does feel they're just going to turn up. I don't necessarily feel it's organised, but it could be. But that's kind of what they're making reference to. Cha, what the hell is going on with your energy? Okay. Have you heard from somebody from your past, or is this maybe an opportunity or an offer? There's a door opening for you to do with love. Most welcome, Giggle. There's a door opening. Now, this can be in the realm of love. This also can be a very nostalgic time for you at the moment, where you directly could be, tapping into it. I do feel you're going to have a good silly season. Let me put it that way, because it does feel there could be opportunities to relax, to connect with individuals. I do feel people from the past coming back. I do feel there's some opportunities here, though. These can be with some love interests, not necessarily twin, but not necessarily not. But I do think there could be a bit of a spiritual test here, and this can be with another individual. And that's not to say it's wrong. Like, if you feel that's really vibing for you and that person maybe could be a good candidate for an intimate connection, I think you're thinking about it. I think you're thinking, okay, do I be open to a relationship? But I get that this person is known to you. This is somebody that you already know. I also feel you could be getting some information from people you used to know. This can be to do with their relationship and where they're going in their life. But these are people from the past coming back. You could be wondering if TF is still in a karmic relationship. We actually have a relationship in reverse here, which to me is signifying that your thought process could be that they are with someone. What's been shown here in the cards is that they're single or they're going through a separation. Yeah, we have the spiritual ending there. But we do, for you, have a relationship, something that's hot on your mind. Information of the past can be coming in to give you clarity. They're also saying the past can actually aid you with moving forward, and not to second guess yourself that you don't have the tools to protect yourself, to know what you want, or to pick a karmic. There is a fresh start here in the area of love. They're saying don't hide from it. Open your heart chakra. Look at it as a new beginning. You might have also been thinking to yourself, look, after what was said and done, if I do go back into this circumstance, if you are mulling over old circumstances, what you're going to find is when you do go back into this, it is a brand new connection again. Okay, so it's brand new, it's reborn. You're going into it with a different attitude. That physically is your power. You're maybe taking time. You particularly could be feeling as though you need to open your heart. But there's a worry. There is a big worry here. You could be being really hard on yourself at the moment. It's like, what have I been doing? How has life gone? If you look back, you may have recognized that you had been healing in different areas surrounding, like love point blank zero. But you particularly could be saying to yourself, look, I've been stuck in my head. I've been in this cycle. Maybe I'm being delusional here. While we're healing, we generally won't really attract a partnership in. I do feel there's an offer here if it hasn't started already. What I do get very strongly is you're summarizing this year. You could be very susceptible to energy, especially near the end of the year. I'd say it's a really good time to clean the house, to prepare it, to smudge it, maybe to use crystals, to go into spiritual recovery. But I do see you, sort of going through the vault of healing here. I'm feeling as though if this is a purge that you're going through, it's going to serve a purpose. Part of you doesn't even know if you want to reconcile. Again, that can be to do with the healing. So you're on a 50-50 here. You're like, okay, intuitively, I'm not even with that person. I'm picking up on things. It's affecting my ascension symptoms. When I am with them, I have the same thing. So, am I cursed here? Is this going to be like this forever? And it's generally not. Somebody's tapping into your energy at the moment. You may need to do an energy clearing and an aura clearing. This could be really causing a lot of fogginess and ill perceptions, to do with this. Is weird. It's almost like you're open to a relationship, but you're telling universe I don't trust. So inadvertently, you're kind of sending them mixed messages with that. And there is this protectiveness. I feel if you can ground yourself and know that a good person can hurt you, a bad person can hurt you, but you have the wisdom that you can tune into it and take your time in going into it. It's almost like if you see a red flag, proceed with caution, and so that you're not putting yourself in risk. We can't avoid it completely. In order to love, we need to be the full card in tarot. But you can gauge how you go into that. You can go into it gradually. That makes you feel you're not on the roller coaster getting dropped from 50 foot. You're, on the roller coaster with the brakes, and you're going to accelerate and you're going to put the brakes on. So you're taking it at your own pace. This is mentally... You're very susceptible to energy at the moment. So both with the new relationship or with TF, you're sort of looking at it the same. Okay. So what I would say is to understand that you're clearing at the moment. And as you're clearing, what I get is you are going to get into a good space. You are very angry at yourself for some reason. This could be, I should have got my shit together by now. I should have been in a relationship. All this time I've been doing this for Spain for nothing. Absolutely not. You've still been living. You've still been doing things with life. You've been spiritually growing, so nothing is ever for nothing. But what I do see is you do need to rest. I would suggest doing a clearing. And, be honest with yourself. Although love is coming up here, I do particularly feel your belief system to do with it can be shifting quite a bit, but you could get to the root cause of an issue. And I think if you can let go and just trust in how it's supposed to come to you, I think it's really going to aid you. But there is a protectiveness. Universe is sort of saying, hey, we want to bring this to you, but you're kind of protecting yourself and you're blocking your blessings. So they're saying, do a little bit of clearing, be open to it. You might not know how this is going to come about, but this is really going to heal. But you definitely are saying you're trying to prepare yourself because you are going to make some very strict decisions for 2024 because you want a surety of movement. I hope that helps, Char. Kerry. Gosh, it's really warming up over here. And I've got like a light behind me. I've got a light in front of me. Kerry. How you doing, love? How are these transits going? Are you not biting off more than you can chew? Are you reviewing contracts and waiting to see how they go? Let's see. Okay, we have, oh gosh, you do have some rewards coming here. You could be thinking to do with abundance and love. You could be wondering what things are going on near the silly season. Also, I feel there's a potential here of overindulgence. This could be causing issues for you. You're sort of like, oh, I shouldn't really be doing this, but they're saying let go a little bit. You don't need to go to extremes here. I feel as though you're going to get some gossip coming through. I also feel this can be coming from a male energy. You also could be seeing that males are acting very oddly at the moment. I do feel you're trying to have strength, and you could be looking at an accommodation situation at the moment. This could be almost like you're saying to yourself, why has this come up? Why is this, why are old things recropping up again? Why, when I get my foundation in order, does something come at left field? I do think you could have some repairs on a home that are necessary. You also could be really, really looking at your future. There's something here that is becoming overbearing. It feels that it's getting heavy. You maybe thought that you were going to be able to have a little bit more time, but everything's coming up at the moment, sweet. Okay. I literally do feel you're going to have some good luck, but I do feel people around you are getting a bit triggered. They could be dragging you into their circumstances. You could literally feel like you have no north, no, you want your safe haven. You're trying to create a safe haven. You're just tired. Sometimes you're being critical on yourself and you're like, did I drop the ball? How did I get here? I also feel unexpectedly you're going to have some information. I don't think this is negative. I think this is very positive, and it's like I'm hearing the term just in the nick of time. It's really weird. It's almost like things that are being sort of like really problematic to you. When you start getting this information coming through to you, you're going to realize it didn't matter anyway. And you'll know what that means when it gets closer. I do feel the outcome is, and the areas of the subjects that are going to be really large on your radar are marriages, contracts, and partnerships. Okay, this could be a blast from the past. This could be some revelation. This could be doors opening for you. Right now, I do feel you could be going through some very difficult times. This could be with individuals. You could feel almost like you're baffled. You're baffled that it's getting worse. It's not getting better. But it's because universe is pushing you in a particular direction. They're also saying you may not be listening. Because our ego, literally, especially from a humanistic point of view, if we have an overactive masculine, we're going to be like, no, I need to do something to get that outcome. No, that's not what needs to happen. I need to avoid that situation over there at all costs, because from a realistic point of view, this is what I've got to do. And, that came through at the beginning of the reading. And I think it's really a collective message. If we're having a particular tower and our ego is attached to it, we particularly could feel, gosh, the whole world's come down, when what it could be doing is actually opening up brand new doors for us, but we're just a little bit too blind to see. We're going to let the dust settle first, and then we may have a very different perspective. And I think, universe is giving you some synchronistic hits. So sometimes it gets worse before it gets better. But what it is going to do is going to open doors for you. And I do feel you're going to get gossip to do with karmics. Okay? There could be, I'm thinking something's going to end up going in your favor. I do feel a very, you do have a bit of travel there. I do feel there's a loved one on the other side who's guiding you. They're saying, don't be so bloody rough on yourself. They're saying you got some fun. It's okay to go and have some fun. Yes, they're aware of the dramas that are happening. Yes, some situations are changing. A home also is going to come about for you in some shape or form. And I'm feeling 3 individuals contacting you. Now, this is going to be in the long run positive news. Also, because what it is going to give you is some information that you weren't privy to. And I think it can really, again, it can benefit you in some shape or form. I'm going to leave it at that. Oh, thanks, Sally. Shasta. And then we got Stella. How you been doing, Sally? I was thinking about you the other day. I was like, I wonder how my Libra soul sisters are going. I guarantee you, Sally, you got things to do with family, home. You've probably been looking at your accommodation and going, is this where I'm going to be? Old things, I do feel if they crop up, we're all going to be dealing with them differently at this point. And the key to it is, okay, what do we have for Shasta? Oh, again, you've got some abundance. You've got some silly season energy coming through. I don't know how, but I do think you're going to be spending some time with this person. Oh. Okay, I just got a hit on an energy. I need to ask the question correctly. Oh, they got some karmic crap going on. Hey, what is your feeling to do with your twin at this point? Are you feeling like they're gonna like? Oh God, honestly, something to do with Christmas. I do think you're going to be seeing this person. You may have quite a social calendar ahead of you, my love. This feels very busy. Thanks, Giggle. Yeah, so it's I need abundance, life out loud. We haven't spoken since October. I do, yeah, it's almost like I pulled a card and it was like, is this person in a karmic relationship? There's something to do with a lesson that they're learning at the moment. But I feel they're having to learn a karmic lesson. That can be because of, sort of how you're exhibiting energy to them, and you're sort of like, no, not doing this anymore. I feel like, yeah, this is a lesson for them. They feel that they have gone about this the wrong way. You're like, something's up here. Something's different. Something's funny. Okay, I wouldn't get in your head too much about it, although I already feel you have. Because it almost feels like, to a degree, you're like, look, if you turn around and say you're not ready for a connection, but then you go on and get up in a connection, you're sort of like, oh, I don't know, this person does have jealousy towards you. There is I feel it's coming from their side. I feel it's triggering them. I feel it is they are asking questions about you. But they also, yeah, you want, people are asking questions. They're literally asking, like, I feel this person is trying to connect with people you know. Now, how can that come about? This could be actually talking to family members, talking to friends, talking to mutual individuals that know the both of you, maybe looking at your social media. I do get the how do I go about getting this information? All the way down to the point they're wondering if you're in a connection, which is crazy. Yeah, like, has this person given up? They're not thinking about this anymore. Sports teams, my family. Yeah. Yeah, you keep it on the up and up. This is triggering this person. I'll be even careful what you share with your family. Look happy. I'm happy. It's great. I would go out. I would be active. I would act like nothing has ever happened. If you give note that you're in this hermit energy and you're kind of like pissed, peeved, upset, any of that, this is actually getting back, and this is doing the polar opposite of what you're trying to achieve. If you are, it's like a promotion. It's crazy as shit. If you're promoting, have you ever seen a Facebook post and a person, all they're putting on Facebook is, it's almost like inadvertently sending a signal to an individual, and it could be through a song, a meme, and all of it. I mean, if you were to scroll down, it would be like a toilet roll full of problems. Like, if we're exhibiting that energy, we're going to get the polar opposite. We're going to get vultures. We're going to get, everyone's going to be able to read it clear as day. This person is miserable. This person feels like, nothing can go wrong. So if you want to share anything, it should be authentic. I would say that, because it's not manipulation if it's honest. If it's, no, today I will find something that is very positive in my life and I will share that. And that is what I'm putting out into the ethers and the universe. And anything else, if you wanted to know, you need to be in my life to be privy to that information. Because a lot of times we can actually accidentally, inadvertently use Facebook or Instagram or, for heavy negative energy. And it's we all say, I want privacy, yet we give it to AI. So it's like, it's a catch-22. You need to find a healthy vibe there. But this can be with people, places, and things. The energy I did here last week, which definitely I'm going to research it, was because I saw easy 3 companies named after Mars energy. The first thing that was coming to mind was, especially with my coaching sessions, clientele, knowing the astrology, was the art of war. And I do think it could have some great information in it, which I'm going to go back and read. I did start years ago. For everyday life, tactical approaches, how you can go into things, how you can look at things to get the upper hand. Now, get your party season shoes on, make some plans, do the poker face, place energy up, keep your cards close to your chest. They're also saying if an offer comes through, and it could be to go somewhere, they're saying take it with open arms. Be present in your life, because I do think this person is wondering how you're going. I definitely do feel their energy resurfacing. I don't feel it's gone anywhere. And I think if you can tap into your life and be super excited, this is actually going to swap all the energy you're feeling into all the energy they're going to end up feeling. I hope that lands. But definitely there is this snoopy energy going on here. And I think it can go in your favor. Okay? Fake it till you make it, but be real. But don't promote the negative, because it just goes polar opposite. It does the polar opposite of what we want it to do. I may have to look at that one, Giggle. Yeah. Well, half of what I give you is the art of war. Okay, we have Stella. I'm only just getting hungry. That's interesting. Maybe Stella's hungry. Stella, do you need to eat? Could have been Shasta. It could be. That's okay. Yeah, but I do think they're thinking about you. Hi, Stella. Merry Christmas to all of yous, including Stella. Are you all ready, to treat yourselves, to, have a nice beverage, enjoying nice beverages. I did say there was a talk show. You're not hungry. Maybe it's Shasta then. One of you are. I just got the grumble energy coming through. I'm not hungry. Yeah, all these cocktails will be coming up, and these beautiful large ice cubes with fruit in them for spritzers, and they don't have to have alcohol in them. They can be, non-alcoholic. But they were beautiful coconut pina coladas and, mocktails and things to that degree. Okay, happy holidays. I'm sick. Oh, get well. Hey, do you have Aquarius in your chart, Shasta? You got to be careful at the moment. If you do, hi, any energy of the Aquarius at the moment, because it's the 12th house, it's almost like there are new chapters coming, but you can feel you're going backwards. You can be very critical on yourselves. Okay. Oh, God. Stella, what's going on? Whose energy's like this? I don't think it's yours, my love. I don't think you're on the rampage of victim consciousness. Who's up in your energy right now? Are you worried about a circumstance at the moment? I will be giving some free readings away. I will be announcing them on YouTube. I'm going to pick the date, TFSEC. Is that it? But it won't be today. So do subscribe. I am going to be giving some memberships away to Discord, more the entry. So you'll get a trial of Discord, which is the coaching, the members, and then decide, you can decide whether that's something that fits for you. I may also be giving some freebie mini readings away. So stay tuned, subscribe, you know, keep an eye on the community tabs. I will be, you know, doing some lives over the silly season, and actually I'm giving some things away. Lots of things. Okay, so there's an out in the cold frequency. This can be maybe a circumstance connecting to home, connecting to budget, and you're kind of worried about things. This can also be another person needing to leave a residence. There's spiritual changes that are going on. This also can be just you're really worried about family. It is the 5 energy. It's the crowning energy. It's also the give and take. It can be the fatigue that you physically are feeling, where you're like, gosh, is there any more changes? You know, it's almost like, and it doesn't have to be penny pinching, because I actually feel the benefits for you is going to be very different. But I do get what I am feeling at the moment is there's a lot of changes that are coming. I do feel that I'm hearing the term saving for a rainy day. But I definitely feel with TF, there's some dramas that are going on there. Okay. Can't catch a break. It is going to change. This is going to be going in your favor. But there are some people at the moment where it's almost like they're bringing dramas to you. It's probably because Pluto in Capricorn is causing issues in Libra's tribe zone. So it can be your home, it can be your family, it can be your routine. Also, everyone collectively, regardless of zodiac, is very tired. Pluto is going to transit into Aquarius next month, but we're seeing both. So this is you with your children, you with romance, you with life, and you're kind of in a catch-22. You're on the cusp of both. You know something's changing, but you're being pulled in multiple directions, and old things are going to come up. You also feel intellectually you need to be careful about what you're giving. This can be with your heart. This can be with your money. This can be with your vibration. I also feel wellness. You're having to look after your wellness. You could be getting some checkups of some description. They're also making reference to the fact that if you feel something needs to be checked, to go and get it checked. Yeah, you're like, you could be getting a little bit snappy by month's end. You're going to hear some dramas happening on the other side. Something's about to go down, but I think you intuitively are picking up on this. I feel that you intuitively are picking up on drama that's happening on the other side. You're a dag, Sally. Okay. You're frustrated with people's decisions, Stella. You're like, it's almost like people's decisions are a bit funky at the moment. You're trying to explain a perspective. There also could be a family member here that's going through something at the minute. You may not have all the information on hand at the minute. I do feel a female friend calling you to whinge about a relationship. They may need support. They also could be touching base with you and explaining the way their behavior has been. I do think this person really cares about you. There could be an olive leaf of some description. I'm really wary of that at this point. And it's not that we can't be open-minded and that people can't change. But I do think it's about getting the proof and evidence, okay? Because I feel as though this feminine energy wants to reach out. They haven't had the best track record. It seems to be a little bit two-faced. I don't think they intentionally want to be that way to you. I do feel they really, really do care about you. But they, because of their behavior, insecurities, fears, they can sometimes throw you under the bus. They can sometimes react to you in a very disrespectful or harsh manner, if that makes sense. There's a lot of dramas happening over there on that side of the fence. You could be very worried. I do think it's going to pass. But this person also is very fed up because even when they are run down, it's almost like more is on their plate, not less. I feel you go through the same thing. Yeah, there could be something wrapping up here, something quite significant. I do feel family could become involved. Okay, last messages for Stella, please. I feel like they want to open up and tell you something, but at the moment, it's a bit stagnant. There also could be a situation to do with job opportunities. This can be in your surrounding environment. This could be something that's really nagging at a circumstance. I do see trouble for you. I feel this is more in, this could be at a drop of a hat travel, but it also could be next year. I'm trying not to think about it. Probably safer. How many YouTube accounts have you got, Sally? Have you got 2? Ah, cards going everywhere, Stella. Oh, okay, you're... Stella, you've had a lot go on. If you have a lot of pressure on you, you may need some quiet time away from individuals because you almost have this feeling like you're ready to walk through a door. Now, that could be in any area of your life. It could be walking in a door, walking in a particular direction. You also feel you might have to make a hard decision. Yeah, hard decision. Sometimes this can come through where you feel, look, I'm done if I do, I'm done if I don't, but I feel like you're ready to make a major decision. This also may have no reference to partnerships or twins. This is almost like your personal need, what you personally are needing. It's almost like liberation energy. So it's almost like it's coming through on your side. There could be a change in job. Yeah, you're like, when do I get to have happiness? When do I get to have my happy ending? I do think it's quite soon. I do think this is shifting. Somebody also could announce a marriage. This could be an engagement. This could, yeah, it feels like there could be a party, a social event. If there is an anniversary of an individual, this could be to do with their wedding anniversary. I do see this as sort of having a bit of a tower moment. There is a transformation in your direction, though, but they're saying you won't know all the information right away, but from a spiritual point of view, it almost feels that you're going to have a major shift, a major transition. I don't think you're telling anyone to do with this because I feel something very personal is going on inside. And I think because of that personal situation, that's going on, I kind of get this feeling you're keeping your cards close to your chest, and it could be a tactical approach. It's almost like you're wondering if this intuitive hit of what you should do is a phase. But I don't feel it's a phase. But I do think there's going to be big shakeups on both sides of the fence. But this is creating a brand new direction. Whatever this is, it's asking you to have the courage to walk towards it, to not be fearful of it. But there is going to be a huge change of plans, and I think it's going to benefit you in the long run. I hope that helps. But definitely, possible tower moment on TF side. It's not looking too flash and dandy. Okay, so you're a dag. Of course they have to, Sally. But then, we might just end up going to bed early if we have that in there. Not a mocktail, but a cocktail. Okay, I'm going to pull a 1 card. I'll pick 2 people, 1 card, and that can be your message. Okay, so for Sally, 1 card for you. The first thing I got, Sally, honestly, was something to do with home and accommodation. You're going to have a shake-up and a change. There could be some dramas with people around you at the moment. You may need to, there could be some unfinished business that you need to get out of. This also could be in reference to another person that they're having to get out of a very toxic situation. You also could be getting gossip about this. And I'll pull one for, I cannot pronounce this individual. You are there on the screen. I will give one card to you, and then I'm going to hit the road, Jack. I hope you guys enjoyed your super chats. If you want to join our members, this would be a great time getting that support over the silly season into January. I also give you transit updates in there and daily coaching should I feel it's required. Okay. How am I getting with this? This person actually feels well to do. I feel this person can have some wealth around them, whoever this love energy is. This also, it's almost like they could be in a place of power. They can be a manager. There also could be lust, temptation. This could be a co-worker, okay? But there definitely is the devil energy here. Could it be causing issues for you? The devil card doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It could be a zodiac sign that they directly are. It could be a circumstance where, it's the passion, because we do currently have Venus and Scorpio. So it could be a very passionate connection. But for some reason, I feel whomever this person is, the first thing I pick is they have money. I do feel they're very goal-orientated. They could be shifting careers. They could be in a place of power of some description. And that is what I have for your love. So I hope you've all enjoyed the super chats. Can't wait to see you all. Stay tuned. I will put a community post up for the joint connection. I may go live for it a little bit later. I need to eat. I haven't had anything to eat today. And as for the twin flame path for the members, I'll schedule those for you also. And those coming to the public, I have titled the twin flame, the masculine, feminine, and karmic. I will be opening them via a community post, and you'll get your links that way. So they will be up soon. Take care.